What's up, everybody? Hey, it's been a while since I've come to you from sitting at my desk. So this is going to be the first video in a series of videos that I am doing talking about the ESP32 microcontroller. So I'll put a B-roll up of it, whatever. They're cheap, they're cheerful, they do Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, PWM, all kinds of good stuff. I have a number of things that I want to demonstrate or deal with it. Well, partly I've been bit by the I want to engineer something bug, itch, whatever. But there's a number of things that I want to do with them. I talked in one of my R5 videos or R5C videos, one of the two, about a camera control system that I have that uses an Arduino. Well, I'm going to be completely rebuilding that. So if that's something that you sounded interesting to you, then that's something that you'll want to subscribe and catch up, because I will be going through the whole process of that, all of the engineering, software, make everything available. My intention is at least to make everything available. In this version, because of the capabilities of these, my intention is to do it with Bluetooth instead of having to have wires run everywhere. So I will have an ESP32 using Bluetooth with a small lithium-ion battery or LiPo battery, etc., that I can have on the cameras instead of having to have wires running all over the place to control them. Anyway, in this video, we are going to look at bootstrapping this entire build process. So before I even start thinking about getting into talking about, all of everything that works, I have to actually be able to compile a code and upload it to the device. So let's jump over to the computer and look through or talk through this process. So for all of this project, I'm building everything in Visual Studio Code using Platform IO. Platform IO is a cross-platform compilation, project management. It does a whole lot of things. I've already got it installed. I'm not going to go through the installation process in this video. However, if there's some interest in that, leave a comment. I will consider doing another video to walk through the steps of installing Platform IO. So the first thing you have to do in Platform IO, if you haven't done it already, is install the platform that you're targeting. And here's where you're going to watch me struggle a little bit to start with, as I'm trying to find the platform to install. So the chip is the ESP32, but Platform IO, as you'll see, considers it the ESP32. And this is the part where I am absolutely lost faffing about what all I needed to do here, and all you need to do here is click the blue button that says install. And I had my mouse over it, and instead, for whatever reason, I'm trying to find the platform or the device that I have and install that, and that's not the right place. All you need to do is click install. So let's jump to actually part where I get installed. And it looks like I finally realized that all I have to do is click install. And now I'm going to actually faff around a little more because I'm still not 100% sure. Let me just put it this way. I've only done this once for Arduino, and it was like 2 years ago. So I'm not exactly familiar or super up on all of the installation stuff, or I should say I'm not really familiar with it, but that is the whole point of what I'm actually doing here. So the whole point of this process is for me to bootstrap my ability to work on this microcontroller. So I am not doing anything complicated by far. I am simply just doing the bare minimum to make sure that I can write and compile code that will run on this controller, the ESP32 that I have. So all I needed to do is go to projects. Once I had the platform installed, create a new project. I'm giving it a name. I'm picking the board that I used, which is a generic Espressif ESP32 dev module. I'm going to use the Arduino framework for this process, and I am going to store it on my network drive, my network server, where I have all of my source code for everything stored anyway. So that's what I'm doing here, is creating a folder on my server for the ESP32 test project. So this will take a couple seconds to set up, and while this is doing its thing setting up, let me talk briefly about what I am planning on doing here. So this video, as I said, I'm just bootstrapping the thing. Next up on the list of things is I'm going to look at PWM control. So I talked about the Aperture Amaran P60C light panel. I talked a little bit about PWM control, but I want to dive into something more in-depth to really explain what's going on, what are the pros and cons. And I can do it with actual implementation and actual PWM control. Funny thing, as I started looking at the PWM capabilities of this, I realized that the backlighting system that I'm using, which is also Arduino based, really could be driven much better by this, so I'm actually going to end up rebuilding that, and that'll probably be the first project that I do with the whole thing, but we'll do it as part of talking about PWM and lighting in general. After that, I'm going to be, as I said in the opening, completely rebuilding my camera control system with standalone radio-based modules on each camera for starting and stopping recording, and then for like my R5, restarting recording because the camera doesn't support anything longer than a 30-minute record time. The ultimate goal, hopefully maybe if I get there, and I have no idea if I'm ever going to be able to actually accomplish this, is I want to be able to build, or I want to build a device that uses a, let me come back to that at the end. So we have the project set up and we're going to do some configuration. Now, setting the monitor speed and the upload speed are not necessarily required. The ESP32s can have much faster COM connections than 115200 bits per second. However, I know that that will work, and I don't want to deal with any more problems in this instance than I actually have to. So once that's done, I am going to simply build. So this is going to compile the code, and you'll notice there's a whole lot of errors. The errors here have to do with the fact that the system is, or my path is on a network drive, and it doesn't like that for some reason. Something in Python. There's a workaround to make the errors go away, but they're not breaking anything at the current moment, so I'm not really too worried about them. So the software has built, so I can successfully compile a binary to upload to the ESP32, and now I'm uploading it to the ESP32. Now you'll notice I haven't done anything in this project. It is completely empty, bare bones. This is absolutely just a test to see that I can compile and I can flash. And that's what I'm doing. Compiled. It's now flashing to the code over USB. The ESP32 is plugged in with a USB cable to my computer. It's flashing the code over USB to the device, and the finishes. It's going to hard reset the ESP32, and then it is done. Now, I'm going to start the serial monitor. The reality is there's nothing to start the serial monitor because there's nothing happening on the code. So we're going to then do a quick setup looking at, we're going to start the serial port in the Arduino library, and we're going to just print back hello world. It is the basic, most simple, standard thing for programming to get started. So while I'm looking up the documentation, because I haven't actually done this in a while, let me go back to real quick what I was talking about. So my ultimate goal is to build a adapter essentially where I can put an EF to EOS R mount adapter on my camera and then mount an EF or PL cinema lens that doesn't have an autofocus motor. Tap the EF, hang on. So we're doing the serial setup. So serial in Arduino is super easy. All you have to do is in the setup part, do serial.begin and the baud rate that you want it to work on at, and then serial.println in the loop. The loop runs continuously. Hello world in this case, because that's what I want it to print. And again, we're going to rebuild and re-upload. So as I was saying, the intent is to have a EF to EOS R mount adapter or a PL to EOS R mount adapter that taps the control signals from the RF or the R mount EOS R camera, talks to the camera in EF, and then drives a servo motor that I can use with a focusing gear on the lens to actually autofocus a purely manual focus cinema lens. Now this is something Canon could put out in probably a week. because they have all the documentation and they know everything they need to know to do it. But it's probably going to take me a lot longer, assuming I can figure out how to do it. In any event, compiled, uploaded, hello world, this process works. And so I'm going to wrap this up here. It's a short video. And when I come back to this, we're going to be looking at some more complicated coding on the ESP32 and PWM is in general as a thing. So thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, let me know by hitting that like button. If this kind of thing seems like it might be your kind of thing, please consider subscribing if you're not already. If you know somebody who might find this useful, please consider sharing it with them. As always, if you have a better idea of how to do something than what I'm doing, leave a comment in the comments below. I am not the greatest programmer in the world, so there's probably going to be a lot of that this time around. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.